Welcome to Growing Younger podcast, where we guide you through your journey of reaching your fitness goals after 40.
Today we're going to talk about the difficulty a lot of people over 50 are experiencing with getting up off the floor. Hi guys, my name is Alex Blażewski. I'm a physiotherapist with 21 years experience working in private practice with people over 40. So the topic of today's podcast is going to be how do we overcome this difficulty you may be experiencing with getting up off the floor. Now, before we delve into into how we can actually how we can make this better, we're going to talk about the reasons, the causes. Why do people over 50 quite often have trouble getting up off the floor? So number one is inability or pain when kneeling. Okay, so a lot of people over 50, they may have some degree of knee wear and tear or knee arthritis. And so when you have knee arthritis, kneeling can be quite painful. So because getting up off the floor pretty much involves, or usually involves, a little bit of kneeling, that's why people actually struggle with it. Now, reason number two is gradual loss of muscle strength in the legs. So unfortunately, as we get older, we'll lose a certain percentage of muscle strength in our legs every single year. And how much muscle strength you lose depends on if you are active, if you exercise, if you do a bit of strength training. In fact, if you do the right type of strength training, you can actually reverse a lot of the muscle strength loss. But generally speaking, getting up off the floor does require a significant amount of muscle strength in your legs, and if you lose that muscle strength, you will likely struggle. And the third reason, because getting up off the floor also requires significant level of upper body strength, because you sort of have to, usually when you're getting up off the floor, you can lean on something, you can use your arms to help yourself, to push yourself up. So if your arm strength is is below average, you may also struggle with getting up off the floor. So we're going to break this down, and we're going to look at each of these causes, and we're going to address them, and I'll make some suggestions of how you can actually fix these. Okay, so let's start with knee pain or inability to kneel. So probably with this, the best thing I can suggest is watch my video. I've actually put together a little video on my YouTube channel, Growing Younger Physio. I'm also going to put a link in the description of this podcast. So if you want to have a look at it. So basically, I demonstrate a proven physio technique of how you can actually get up off the floor without having to kneel. Okay, it sort of involves using your arm strength and kind of flipping yourself sideways. So you can give that a try to see if that actually helps you. But it says basically it's a way of getting up off the floor without having to put any pressure, any weight on your knees. Okay, so that will be how you deal with that one. Now, so the second thing we brought up is if your leg strength has diminished over the last few years. So the way you address that one is you start strengthening your legs, obviously. Now, if you suffer from a bit of knee pain or knee arthritis, you have to be gentle, and you'll have to select the right types of the exercises that will help you strengthen your muscles, but without aggravating your knee pain. And you might be questioning whether that's even possible. And as a physio, I can tell you 99% of the time, you can find an exercise that would help you with that. So likely you will need help from either a personal trainer or physiotherapist to help select you the right type of exercises. Again, if you like sort of kind of a more general advice of what exercises for your legs are usually safer, then you can check out my YouTube channel just to kind of see. I've got some videos there where I can show you, demonstrate some safe leg strengthening exercises. One thing to note here is that if you're reducing muscle strength in your legs, causing you difficulty getting up off the floor, that should be a bit of a red flag for you. Okay, so there should be a warning sign that your muscle strength is getting down to pretty dangerous levels. So chances are it's not just the getting up off the floor that you're struggling with. You might be also struggling with going up the stairs or stepping up onto things. So you're probably starting to lose your leg strength to a point where your functional level is starting to really suffer. And if you do nothing about it, unfortunately, this will only get worse. So there should be some urgency there for you to basically take some action. There was quite an interesting piece of research done quite recently. What they found is that as we get older, we tend to lose strength in our legs faster than in our upper body. So that's an extra reason for you to try and pay more attention to the muscles in your legs. And there are some major muscle groups in your legs that you need to focus on. So that would be your quadricep, which is kind of your main anti-gravity muscle. That's the muscle that kind of keeps you upright. Also your glutes, which is kind of your buttock area, and also your calf muscle. So the calf muscle is the one that you use particularly for walking, running. So calf muscle is what kind of moves your ankle, and it propels you forward. So if your calf muscles become weak, you also would probably have some difficulty with moving around, just staying mobile essentially. So targeting those three muscle groups is going to go a long way. You can do a bit of research yourself, or as I said before, best thing is to get some advice from a fitness or health professional to guide you in the right direction. Look, guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Look, I have a little favor to ask you. If you know someone who this podcast could be useful for, I would really appreciate if you share this podcast with them. It would help them, but also it would help me grow the channel as well. Okay, and the cause of your inability to get up off the floor, number 3, is potentially could be upper body strength. Okay, so especially if we are lacking a bit of strength in our legs, we tend to rely more on our arms to get us up off the floor. So we might lean on something to get ourselves up. Now, if your arm strength is not very good, this is going to cause a bit of an issue here as well, because not only you can't use your legs to get up, but then you also don't have enough power in your arms to help yourself, to push yourself up to an upright position. Now, obviously, to address this, you need to be strengthening your arms as well. So if you have any injuries in your arms and your shoulders, there's usually a way to still exercise without sort of aggravating your injury. And again, talking to a physio or health professional that understands this area is definitely going to go a long way. But yeah, so you can, no matter how old you are, you can still improve your muscle strength. There's plenty of research to say that even people in their 70s, 80s, they can still achieve remarkable improvement in their muscle strength if they do a strengthening program that is suitable for their level of fitness. Okay, so yeah, don't be discouraged. It doesn't matter if you are 60, 70, 80 years old, and maybe even if you have never done strengthening exercises, you should still be able to improve your muscle strength if you do the right type of exercise. So as a bit of a summary, we looked at the 3 main causes of your difficulty getting up off the floor. So number 1 is inability to kneel. And because we usually getting up off the floor, involves a bit of kneeling. That's obviously going to affect your ability to get up off the floor. So there are ways of getting up off the floor without kneeling. And as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, if you want to look at a way to do it, you can check out my YouTube video. Now, number 2 was your diminishing strength in your leg muscles, and strengthening those muscles will help you get up off the floor. And the third one was if you're starting to lose a bit of strength in your upper body, so clearly you need to address that as well if you want to be able to get up off the floor easier. Okay, so hopefully you picked up some useful tips here, and I will speak to you on the next podcast.